Hello everyone, and welcome to one of our regular little development updates. It's been quite a while actually since I did one of these. The biggest development since then probably that I discovered that I had my color settings wrong the whole time and all my footage looked weird. But now it finally looks beautiful again. You're looking at the sunrise over the fields, and let us jump right into it, but not after a first little thing, because today we are not presenting as many changes as we usually do. That is, first of all, because we are currently working on a very big thing. We started work on our adventure, and we are also preparing our upcoming early access and the beta tests we are planning to do. So a lot of big features under development where progress is not as easily presentable as some of the other features, but I will talk about some of the changes that came immediately after alpha, some of the plans that we have for changes that are based on the feedback that you gave us, and also some of the changes that we just did, as in certain departments the development is just continuously ongoing and all the changes are already visible. I guess the first one is one that is not as visible, but we heard you that you do not like combat as much as we hoped. But to be fair, actually, we knew that it is not where we wanted to be yet, but we received a lot of very, very good feedback on what do you like about it, what do you not like about it, what changes are necessary to make it work better, and also how should we tune our NPC especially to make fights more interesting. We are already starting work on that, but give us some more time. It will take a good month or so before you see changes becoming active, just as a little heads up. But something that you can already see is the new fields. You might have seen that we already started bringing those in. There is immediate changes to the fields biome here, where we put some fences around them. Let us actually go down there. During the alpha, you might have already seen this little farm, but we added a lot more of these. We internally call them tree islands, as they feel like little islands. We also worked on the balancing. We are currently working on some of the 3D things. That's why some things might be flickering or look weird in the light. This is an ongoing development, and we are on an internal build. We also fixed something that we found during the alpha, where a lot of these bushes seem to work in weird ways, where they spawned double or the loop was not properly adjusted to you. Not a common error, but one that it was seen, and that is fixed and does not happen anymore. That is linked to one of the bigger changes. If you look at the bottom left of my screen, you might have noticed that I indeed have a health bar now. This health bar was completely overhauled. During the test, it will drop down and then I can actually show you. One of the feedbacks we got from you is that you did not like our hunger system. It was a placeholder anyways. We did not expect it to work like that, but still it was received incredibly negative, which is very good for us, good learning that you did not like really even that kind of in-between approach. So what we did now is hunger is in the form that you saw it in alpha removed from the game. You will not randomly get hungry, start losing health. What we did instead is, you see at the bottom left here, I can actually go there, at the bottom left here where my cursor is now, you see a white bar, which is my base health, and a yellow bar, which is the extra health that I got from consuming a cooked meal in this case. That is already in the game. We will change a lot more about that, but the idea being that in the future, health is rather an improvement, food is rather an improvement to your health regeneration or your health pool, rather than it being necessary to not die on the spot. That is one change that is made possible by the fact that we're currently working on our district system, which is linked to weather effects, being cold, being warm, being affected by environmental changes. More on that though in the upcoming logs. But just so we tend to share in between steps. This is one of those in between steps where you see effects. Then you might have noticed that even during the alpha it was an effect, but a lot of people did not see it. When I sprint, you see that my stamina drains. You see that this goes, in this current state, quite fast. There's not that much stamina that I can work with. What we now changed, and what was actually in a weaker form already in the alpha, is that, and you will see when I drink that little moss tea at the bottom right that I can actually already do that from my inventory, use it. My overall pool has increased, and you see that I got a lot. This is for showing purposes that I basically now have 4 times as much, but you see that I have a lot more stamina available now. That is, again, the idea of separating food and drinks that was in the alpha. A lot of you reported, the drinks don't do anything. They actually did. It was just not well visible, and we will work on the visibility, but now you see, like, even I can basically go the same way, and you'll see that I can do the 4 times the same distance now, because this is improved. Another little change, but just so that you see, your feedback is super valuable to us. We are reworking / overhauling food and drinks. Yeah, my stamina is still ongoing. I can actually run the whole way back without any interruption. I'm keeping the sprint button down. So, additional changes. Let me look at my little list. We changed a smaller thing, and let me just quickly activate my sheets, because from here on we will run around a lot more quickly. So basically, we changed a small thing, but we are starting to work on the hills biome again. You might have noticed that it still feels quite empty, but we worked on the grass a little bit. The distance has changed, the height has changed a little bit. If you do remember, you might notice that this feels a little different. Grass is now taller than me in some cases. We are still experimenting with that. Damn, that is a huge horde of Teraiva over there. But yeah, anyways, that is also a change that is currently ongoing, and we are keeping working on it. Another change that you will see soon is that we are working on the forests again. It is still almost not visible right now, but it will change significantly. So expect that for the next update. And this is slowly going towards already the end of this video, because as I said, there is not as many changes as we had in the previous updates, just because we are focusing incredibly much on your feedback right now. One of the feedbacks we received, and let me take my nice, I can see Megalos pose here again. Let's go here. Oh, nice. One of the feedbacks we received is that you would love to see a roadmap. 100% understandable, and we will release one very soon. That is not something we didn't plan before, but we realized there is a lot more need for it. A lot more people would like to see what are the things coming up. We will release it. Again, it's soon TM, but expect it in the next 2 to 4 weeks, maybe even earlier. It is already being polished, but we want to wait until we actually know what will be in early access, or at least have a very estimated guess, because that is development. Sometimes things take longer than you expected, sometimes shorter, and sometimes last minute you throw in more features or take some of them out. But we will release a roadmap quite soon. Another thing, we started working on the mountains. You see them to the right, to the left, all around us. They will get a complete overhaul. That is not directly connected to feedback, but it is feedback that we expected. The mountains have basically not been worked on much from our side. They were not a flushed out biome, and they will be visually different. They will play completely different. They will basically become a high-end zone. They will get a lot harder. Environmental effects will play a role, and they will look different. Additionally, the district system. I already mentioned it, and it is an abstract concept, but just to keep it very plain and simple. We are currently building something that will allow us to mark certain areas on the map as a district. In that district, things can change. The behavior of NPC, how greenery grows or doesn't grow, the weather, certain effects that get applied to you, just a general. We mark the hills, for example, and say it is warm here, and we mark the mountains and say it's very cold here, and that affects you as the player character. It is incredibly essential for us. We delayed it because it is a complex system, and we are a small studio, but we are working on it now. It is super essential for the early access, so stay tuned. Probably in the next update video, we'll already see some of those changes coming into effect. Also, additionally, we started working more on our creatures. The versions of the creatures you saw were visually beloved by you, which made us incredibly happy because we love them just as much as you did. But a lot of them did not have their final animations. Fighting them felt stiff, sometimes boring. They only had one plane attack, some of them two, but there was not really timing. As I said, combat was in a state far from what we imagined it to be one day. So stay tuned for that. We will hopefully also share maybe 1 or 2 new creatures that you haven't seen in the next update. And I think that's actually it. Thank you so much for joining our alpha. That is something that I wanted to say at the end again. The alpha was a huge success. We are currently working on an alpha trailer, which might have already been released by now. Maybe it is not, then stay tuned. Keep updated. Definitely join our Discord. A lot of people texted us, hey, I missed the alpha. I didn't see it coming. I didn't know it's happening. We update you regularly on our Discord. It is not possible to miss something, because everything will be shared there. The link will be in the description of this video. Maybe there will be a pop-up or something. Thank you so much. The alpha was an incredible experience. We got exactly the data we needed. It was super valuable for us to be able to even re-roll servers, to do restarts, to see where the limits of our testing servers were, and then better estimate what server structure and what infrastructure we need for the actual early access release. Again, that is this year. It is a lot sooner than you might think. We will work on you with this game. Keep the feedback coming. It is incredibly valuable to us. It helped us so much to learn from this alpha and to understand better what you want. You can be directly involved in the development of this game. And yeah, talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.